And I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, like, I don't really have boundaries when it comes to my business. I got a message yesterday from a buyer on Mercari, and it just really irritated me. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to another, I want to say weekly vlog, but today is Wednesday. I actually got my packages in the back because I plan on going to USPS, dropping those off, and heading to a thrift store. Today I'm going thrifting. And honestly, y'all, since I've been a bins digger, I do not really enjoy thrifting like I used to. Like, I used to be so excited to go thrifting. Now it's just kind of like a tedious task that I feel like I have to sometimes do to just try to make sure that I'm also able to pick up brands that I wouldn't find at a bins location. So I'm gonna be going. I'm hoping that I can find everything that I need at this one location so I don't have to go to the second one. But my goal is to actually be home like around 1. But I feel like ever since I changed my business model, the amount of money that I'm making consistently is beautiful, you know? And I'm kind of upset at myself that I didn't start this earlier and stick to it. Because I remember in August, I talked about, you know, becoming just like a bins specific seller, and that was the highest grossing month that I had ever made reselling. Then I turned around and did it again for October, and then third trimester hit me, and if you've ever been pregnant, you already know what time it is, and I just completely stopped. So of course I had to kind of build everything right back up, and I feel like I did. And I'm like at a really good place right now because I have went on and bumped up my listings just recently, just this week honestly, to 12 each day, which is just gonna be Monday through Friday. I'm sorry, Monday through Saturday. I try not to list on Sunday, but sometimes I end up listing on Sunday. And I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, like, I don't really have boundaries when it comes to my business, only because the goal is to make a lot of money. And if I have to give an extra hour a day or whatever the case, I'm gonna do that, because it's gonna come days in my business where I actually don't want to work. And since I've put forth all this effort into pretty much growing it to this point, I don't have to really worry about, like, you know, having a day off or just not feeling like working or whatever the case is. So of course I'm in my favorite section ever, the jeans section, and I found these 𝕃𝕃 pants, and they look so cute, and I just couldn't fathom paying those $16 for pants. That's extortion. So I left those behind, and this is literally the pickings at this location. It's not that great, but I did find Mother twice at this location, so I just always have high hopes. But I was pretty disappointed this day because I don't think I came back with any type of denim jeans, just because the things that I would have took, they actually were marked up, and some brands are just bins brands. They're not really, I'm gonna pay thrift store prices brands, you know? And that is a huge difference for me now. These are some level 99. So did Anthropologie. It was a snake skin print, but I decided to go ahead and leave them behind. Didn't feel very confident in them, so yeah. And now I'm on the athletic section. This used to be my favorite category, but not anymore, just because they mark up everything now and it's just not really fun. And yeah, I didn't really find much here, but I did get lucky with one particular item. You guys will see that at the haul at the very end of the video. So this was a 𝕬𝕐𝕗 Lulu skirt. I don't really pick up anything that isn't their dresses, so I left it behind. I thought this was Vuori. It kind of tricked me, but it was goddamn Costco. So that was annoying. And this was a Nike golf skirt. I've been slowing down with picking up skirts because they've been slow movers for me, so I ended up leaving that behind. And the price point alone is what really makes me leave it behind, because I'm not paying, you know, no $8, $9 for no damn Athleta. This Torrid price is crazy, crazy, crazy. And I thought this was really cute. I thought it was a good old vintage vibe, but I ended up leaving it there. Just wasn't really that great for me. And this was a BKE brand, if I'm not mistaken. It was giving very much so Free People. And I'm feeling like I probably should have took that because it's kind of like a cute little, you know, rodeo style tee. But I ended up leaving it. Then I found this new with tags Lulu dress. I only picked it up because it was a linen fabric, and then I heavily considered getting it because it was new with tags. But then I saw these 2 holes in it. They were pretty faint, but I don't know. I hear that mini dresses for Lulu's just don't do as well as her maxi dresses. And I have noticed a difference in the selling point because I've sold a few maxi dresses before. Now I went to the bag section. I don't know what caused me to do it, but I wanted to test it out. I've never picked up Vera Bradley where it was just that plain. This is a brand that I found at the bins before, and it took so long to sell, so I definitely wasn't getting this. And I thought about it, but it just was too dirty. Then this was a new to me brand. The comps weren't that great, but I just thought it was a great Y2K moment. So I thought about getting it, but I eventually put that one back just because I didn't want to, you know, have to sit on it for a while. And I don't know, their bag selection is, you know, a hit or miss most of the time when I go up in here. So I thought I'd go ahead and just skim it through this time. And I found this bag. I did pick up a few bags from this location this day. This is one of them. It was a new to me brand, and you guys will see me talk more about it at the end of this video. This is also another bag I decided to pick up. And yeah, this is a Fossil bag. I really wanted to get it, but it was really dirty on the inside, and I was trying to figure out how the hell would I clean it without trying to wash it, so I ended up leaving it behind. This is a Pendleton like women's suit blazer situation, and it has so many holes on it because I initially thought about getting it, but then I saw all the holes. And this is a Patagonia dress. I originally put this in my cart, but I was just like, $13 for this ugly ass dress. No, thank you. And the comps were terrible, so it worked out. And this was a pink blush dress, which is a maternity brand. I would get it at the bins. Let's just say that. I'm not paying no $10 for it. Good morning, y'all. Happy, what is today? Saturday. I left y'all for a little bit just because, you know, I was going through some things and I needed a break. And I also, since I'm filming like a reseller vlog, you get what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta keep my content straight to reselling. So early this morning, it is currently 8:37. I was actually able to sleep in. So I decided that I wanted to go to the thrift store. Now I'm actually gonna be going to an area that I have not been in a while. I can't tell you the last time I went, but the last time I went, I actually found some mother denim jeans. So this is some months ago. It's been a while. So I plan on hitting them up today, and I plan on hitting a few up. I'm not really hurting for inventory. I don't know. I didn't even wash the inventory that was supposed to be listed today, which is bad on my part. Like I said, I've been going through some mental things, so I didn't have the capacity, and I just didn't feel like it, honestly, to stain treat everything and then, you know, wash it and all of that. So I didn't. So today, if I'm able to find something or some great things, then I'll be able to possibly go ahead and list those. So yeah, so that is the plan. I also need to clean out my inventory. Y'all, I wish y'all see how my bins are sitting. They're literally like 2 inches from like actually closing. And that just means that everything is overstuffed. And the system that I have in place as far as like the time that I go and put the items in storage, it gives it like almost damn near 2 weeks before they go in there. And it's like my inventory, I have so much of it. I mean, I don't have so much, but I think I'm at 648 listings right now, which is great. I already told you I want to grow my store to 700 and then 800. My goal is to sit pretty at about 1,000. So that's my goal. I want to say maybe for this summer. Probably not the best time to do it with summer slowdown, but since I shop at the bins predominantly of the time, I think that it's okay. But I'll still just be a little mindful and whatnot as far as the things that I'm picking up. So that is the plan. So I made it to the very first location, and this was the first section I went to, which is all of the new racks. That was a Lacoste sweater. I debated on getting it, but I ended up putting it back. I wanted to pick these up so bad because they were like damn near new, and it was a new to me brand, but the size was just too small, and I didn't want to sit on it for a while because I hate selling shoes. And this was a brand called Sundry, which is sold at Anthropologie. These are just a basic pair of sweats. I decided to leave it behind just because I don't think their sweatpants are going to do that great. And this is a brand that I saw a lot on Instagram, and this particular style does not really comp that well, so I ended up leaving it there. Now we made it to the second location, and I went straight to the shoes, and I actually found a decent pair of shoes that I ended up putting a few back. And this is a brand that I find a lot at the bins, and that specific style I wouldn't pay no $10 for it though. And I've sold a few pairs of Eileen Fishers, but they sat for a very long time before they sold, so I ended up leaving those behind. And these are a pair of 511 Tactical, also left those behind. They sit a while for me now, and these were the shoes I was gonna get, but I ended up putting the Nikes back because they didn't comp well. I found no sold comps, only listed comps, so it was a no-go for me. So what I was trying to say is that when I order Dunkin', and this is literally the reason why I do not go to Dunkin', is I don't know how to order it. Like, I don't know how to order it. And I feel like it's never good every time I go. And then it's also kind of like you got to get the right person at the right time in order to get something like worth getting. But I can already tell this is not going to be good. This looks watered down, very watered down. And yeah, so I'm about to probably pour some of my creamer in it and, you know, get that, and then I'm gonna eat. And I actually need to pull orders to ship them because I got a message yesterday from a buyer on Mercari, and it just really irritated me. So what ended up happening on Mercari was she sent me a message talking about please ship. So I was a little annoyed that day because, you know, I'm going through some things. So I said, Mercari gives me 3 days to ship. If you'd like to cancel, send the cancellation and I'll go ahead and accept it. Because one, don't rush me. Two, if you needed this soon, you probably should have messaged me and asked me when I would be able to ship. And typically on Thursdays, if anything is purchased like after, let's say, I want to say about 9, 10 a.m. on a Thursday, it's not going to get shipped out until Monday because I share a car now. And my boyfriend works until 6 in the afternoon, and the boxes are locked at my post office when I try to go there. And I went there twice before, locked. So I'm not going to waste my time trying to rush to get to the post office when I know they're going to be closed. So anyways, I said all that to say I need to hurry up and try to eat and just kind of get all this stuff cleaned up so I can package the order so I can ship everything out today because time is ticking. All right, y'all, so these are the orders that I just pulled. Honestly, I just talked in a recent video about how I like to not leave my items in this clear baggy stuff. I like to take them out and then wrap them up like I do in my ship with me videos. But honestly, y'all, I really don't have the time and I don't really feel like it. So I'm actually just gonna throw these in poly mailers and call it a day. But at the very least, I'll just take off my label of whatever the item is, and then I'll just put a thank you sticker on it, and then just kind of, you know, toss it in the mailer. I do plan on actually pulling one item out to package it, only because it's a $300 sale, and I feel like they're pretty much worthy of me taking it out, that plastic paper, and then wrapping it, making it look nice and neat. So I will do that for that one. But I did have my, actually I guess it wouldn't be technically my second highest sale because it's the same price as another one. But I just made 2 sales that are over $100. I'm still debating on my inventory again, as far as like how I want to keep it at the new place. Because I feel like the bin life is very, 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 very tedious. And I don't know, like I feel like I'd much rather just keep buying hangers and maybe racks instead of buying bins on top of bins on top of bins. Because I actually sometimes hate the shipping process only because I have to dig through these bins, and it comes times where I do organize my bin. So like right now, my menswear bin is organized. So I kind of have it organized in a sense of like, okay, these are the tops, these are the shorts, these are the jeans, these are the pants, these are the sweaters. But then you catch me on a day where I've sold maybe 4 men's items and it's all disheveled all over again because I'm just trying to get shipping done and I don't have time to run back over there and fix everything back up the way I had it originally, because I am a new mom and I don't have any extra time to go and make it look good again. And then it ends up looking a mess for a couple more weeks until I have more time. And it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot, y'all. So I think that it would be in my best interest to have my inventory just all hung up, and then specific items like in bins, but I try to make it a little bit easier. I do follow, well, I follow a lot of resellers, but it's one in particular. His name is Marcus. I believe his channel is called Dixon's Pickings. I actually really like his storage because the items are like in order, and they're in like these boxes, which I don't know where he got his boxes from, but I like that style. However, I don't want to keep my items in these, so I think maybe for the items that are gonna be inside a tote and they kind of don't really have much of a choice to be in one of these poly bags, I want to like try to do it that way. Okay, let me go ahead and lint roll the fuck out of this, because this dress is $300. I actually got this in a vlog, and I think I showed y'all, I was with y'all, and it was a reseller vlog if I'm not mistaken. I'll try to link it down below. But I found this at a thrift store that marks up Columbia, Athleta, Lululemon to like $15, $18, Miss Me, all of these other wild brands. And then this dress was sitting on, you know, the dress rack for $5.99. And the only thing that got me, and I'm gonna be real honest with y'all, the quality seems very cheap. I'm gonna be honest, very cheap. And I just thought the style was pretty, and that's what drew it to me. And then I was like, oh, this tag looks kind of, you know, expensive. And this is what it looks like. And I was like, okay, let me look into it. Girl, I looked into it, and I'm like, Etro Milano, made in Italy. And usually this is a dead giveaway on a really good brand, is if the tag is tacked on like that, tacked on. So I was like, let me check it out. Checked it out, y'all, and this was kind of fairly new. So 2021 it was released, and it is $1,600 brand new. And I just thought, like, wow. So I had it listed pretty high. How did this even end up at this location? So now every time I go by, I have to make sure I hit up the dresses, because at some point I just stopped looking at the dresses. All right, y'all, so we are back in the car. I'm about to go and drop these packages off because it is time. I finished shipping. It wasn't that long. I think it was only like 7 orders. Oh, yeah, it was only 7 orders. I thought I forgot one, but I went and got it. It was one order that actually sold before I could even haul it. And that's been happening lately, which makes me really happy because I like to be a quick flipper. So if I can thrift an item and it sells in under a week, that's literally the goal. I just got done shipping off them packages. I know I'm probably messed up because I went on and dropped off those jeans that the girl was complaining about. I use FedEx SurePost on Mercari because it's the cheapest one, which is $9.50 fucking cents. But it's still $4 cheaper than using USPS Priority, which is insane to me. Come on, what you got? Okay. So anyways, so I dropped it off in there, and I used, you know, I let it email me the receipt and all of that. So we'll see. But anyways, so I wanted to talk about summer slowdown because she's about to happen, okay? And the fact that summer doesn't technically start until June 21st. However, I feel like it's already kind of like opening the door, okay? Because everything has just like really slowed the hell down. Now, I'm grateful enough to be a binge shopper, so my cost of goods is so low that I don't mind, you know, having to run sales and losing, you know, a little extra profit and whatnot. But this will technically be my second summer as a full-time reseller, and I made the mistake going full-time during the summer, which was the stupidest thing I could have done. If I rated my checks weekly, I'm missing like a full week's worth of pay. I don't know if you're trying to get in front of me, so I'm gonna speed up, buddy. during the summertime, I've noticed personally that I'm missing a week's worth of checks. Well, a week worth of checks during the summertime. And that's just from these last 2 years that I've actually paid attention, because I don't think I really paid attention the other times. Like, it was just like, whatever. So yeah, the only way that I'm really gonna combat it now is just by listing a little bit more. This week, I actually bumped up my listings to do 12 instead of the normal 10. And then I've added Sunday back on. So my goal now is when I go to the bins, and I just normally source weekly, is to go to the bins and try to get at least about 60 to 70 pieces, and then, you know, one day a week I'll try to go to a regular thrift store and try to get at least 10 to 15. It's not really, you know, the numbers don't matter, but they kind of do matter, because I still want to have like a nice mixture of bins items and then regular thrifted items. And I'm not saying that bins items aren't great items, but let's keep it a buck. My location, you can find a few diamonds in the rough, but how often is that, you know? So that 𝕃𝕊𝕋 sweater, I just sold that for $175, and I got that from the bins, and I paid 47 cents for it. So if that happened a lot, then I'd be totally okay. But because summer slowdown doesn't really get better until like August, September, even though that's still technically summertime. But that's when it kind of like turns around, because school is about to get back in and people are shopping for school. So that's pretty much when it turns around. But during like June and July, they've always been, you know, my slowest months, always. And I remember last year, I remember bringing in the lowest amount that I've ever brought in, and that was really bad, because I remember selling my iPad last year for like $300. So if I didn't have that $300 sale, that would have been the absolute worst month, even though that technically was my worst month since I've been reselling. But yeah, I said all that to say, prepare yourself. I wasn't prepared last year. I had a lot going on. I really didn't set myself up that well last year. And then the first year that I was a full-time reseller, I didn't know that summer slowdown was a thing until it hit me, you know. But this year, the goal is to just kind of bump my listings up and just kind of stay on track. And as far as accepting offers, be mindful. And I feel like I do get emotional over some items in some instances where I get low balls and stuff. And I know that professional wise, that's not necessary. But since I'm running this business and it's my business, I can run it however the fuck I want to. But I also like to stay with the right mindset as far as like, okay, these are items that are supposed to sell, you know? So if somebody is sending me a super low ball offer, depending on the item, depending on how long I had it, depending on the price point, depending on if I've dropped the price down already, like, it's so many different factors that goes into me outright declining a low ball offer. I don't know. I'm excited to just see how this is gonna go, because this is my first time actually knowing that summer slowdown is real, and being in a position to combat it with going to the bins and having very low cost of goods. So we'll see, because since the year has started, I have continuously been going up and up and up. I actually need to go do my books today so I can see kind of like where I'm at so far, with it being close to the middle of the month. I don't like to even talk about gross numbers, because I feel like with gross numbers, they're very tricky, because I can sit here and tell y'all I've made X amount in my gross sales, and then after fees and cost of goods, it might be just a little under $1,000 taken off of that, which is great for me because, you know, bin shopper. But I know that I've watched a few resellers. I don't watch them anymore. I've, you know, unfollowed them. But it was one in particular. I was watching her ₍ video, and she had grossed $1,500 for that month. And at that time, I just make average amount, you know, average money during that time. This is over a year ago. And it made me start to feel really shitty. And then I just kept watching, and then she told me she actually made like $5,000. She didn't tell me, she told her audience. And then I was just like, what? Like $5,000? And you grossed $1,500. So I feel like when it comes to numbers, they're always a little skewed. But this particular reseller was part-time. So $5,000 in additional income, that's great, okay? But for me, there's no way in hell I'm spending, of course that is fees and all of that, but she was a high ASP seller, which is understandable because, you know, you have more capital to put into this item and wait it out for the right buyer to buy it at that price point. I don't, and I would prefer to just do shit ton of quick flips. I'm like about to fuck up, but I don't know. Like I said, capital wise, going to the bins just work for me. I don't mind going to the bins and spending, you know, 30-40 bucks per trip, and I'm able to come home with 60 items, and I'm able to list those items and, you know, sell 2 or 3 items, and I've already paid for the binge trip. So I don't know, like everybody is different. All right, y'all, so I actually want to give y'all a haul of what I've been picking up the last few days since I've been thrifting. And I didn't haul what I picked up a few days ago, so I'm gonna show y'all what I got, and then I'm gonna show y'all what I got today. So the first thing is from a brand called 𝕄𝕝, which is a new to me brand, but it's actually sold at Revolve, and it's this really cute pom-pom skirt. It is like a gauzy material, size extra small. I was pretty happy about this one. This was actually in the women's section, and honestly, when you pick up Lululemon a lot, you kind of recognize the fabric, you recognize the feel, you recognize the look. So when I saw these, I'm like, okay, these gotta be Lululemon. So I ended up, you know, just kept looking at them, just trying to look for clues, and I noticed that, you know, the logo was on the drawstring, and then that's when I looked down, and then I saw this. So yeah, I already knew. So these are a size large in men. Also picked these up. I kind of don't know why I picked these up, because I feel like J. Jill is a brand that I would only pick up at the bins, but I thought I'd go ahead and get it now. And this is just pure Jill. These are her denim like leggings. These are just, you know, some pull-on pants. So I went on and got those, and then I looked at the bag section. I think I showed y'all, and I actually put a bag back that I wanted to get, but I think it was dirty. So yeah, this is a brand called Bagalini. Actually never heard of it, never sold it, but the comps were pretty decent, $20 to $30. So I think I have mine priced at $25, so I'm hoping to get at least about 15 to 20. Yeah, so this bag is actually from a brand that I've picked up 3 times before. It's called 𝕑𝕑. Honestly, the first time I picked it up, it sold fairly quickly, so I picked it up again, which was a pair of shorts. They have been sitting, it has to be like a cool year at this point, but I realized that their bags is what really sells, so I picked this one up. The only problem is that their sling bags are the ones that are like the high ticket sales. So I don't know, I wanted to kind of diversify a little bit. All right, so the first thing that I picked up at today's location was these Lululemon shorts. And if y'all notice, I was like hitting the racks hard. The new ones anyways, I was hitting those pretty hard because I really wanted to find something good. I'm glad I found these, but I'm getting a little nervous because in the front, it is a few stains, and they look like they can come out with the wash, but at the same time, I really don't know. So I'm a little nervous about that. But I was there for 45 minutes and I realized I didn't want to waste any more time here because I couldn't find anything. Usually if I'm there casually browsing and I throw a few things in my cart, that gives me like the vibes like, okay, I can stay here a little bit longer. But after like 25 minutes and I'm like, nothing else was in my cart, just these, I'm like, oh, it's time to get up out of here. So that was pretty depressing. But I went to my used to be honey hole and I found these pair of driftwood pants, and I realized that this brand is a 100% sell-through rate for me, so I do pick it up when I can. But I once picked up like some basic ones and they sat for a little bit longer than I would have liked, but these got exactly what you're supposed to find with this brand, which is the embroidery at the ankle. They aren't a boot cut, these are more of a capri style, but the embroidery is gonna sell it. And what are these? These are the Colette. I think I actually sold this exact style before. And this size was a size 27, and I actually found a lot of jeans in that size. I picked up a pair of Can. My camera ended up dying while I was there, so I didn't get to show y'all much, but I picked up a pair of New Attacks Can. They were 10 bucks, so I ended up leaving them behind. But Can just doesn't do it for me anymore. So this is a prime example of when you pick up something or you look at something and you see that it is really great quality, you need to continue to like do more research. So I saw these, I felt them, I'm like, okay, this looks like these could be a pair of Lululemon either commission or ABC pants. So I just kept like searching and searching. I'm like, okay, typically Lululemon has like their little logo symbol on men's items, like on the hips or the waist, and I couldn't find it. So I'm looking at all of the pockets. I'm like, okay, this one has a zipper pocket over here, so let me look at the label. Absolutely nothing. I look at the button. Absolutely nothing. And then I go inside and I'm like, oh, okay, this isn't Lululemon, but I'm like, this is great quality, so let me go ahead and look it up. And this is the brand. And surprisingly, Jack Archer does really well. So I'm probably gonna get about $40 to $45 for these, and I'm really happy about that because I like testing out new brands, typically just from the bins, if I'm being completely honest. But when it's like a brand like this, I actually don't mind testing it out, because I tried out a new brand called 𝕬𝕉. I probably pronounced that wrong, but I was able to sell them for $65, and it was a new to me brand. I got it from a thrift store. The tag was a dead giveaway. This one was a dead giveaway because I saw a red little 𝕃𝕚𝕐. I do think this is a older style, but it is a pair of Spanx. These are in excellent condition, and they're a size large. Now, I don't pick up Spanx like leggings anymore, but I do pick up their denim jeggings because, you know, they do sell better for me. I'm probably only gonna get about $30 to $35, but I'm okay with that. If you guys are not familiar, definitely a Bolo brand. And I initially was like, okay, is this real? Is this really Tory Burch? Looked at the bottoms, they look brand spanking new, actually have not been walked in. And then I'm like, okay, it says leather sole, and it just is great quality. So I'm just like, okay, this has to be real. So why can't I find the damn size? So I was looking everywhere. And something told me to peel this thing back, because this actually looks like somebody inserted this just as a cushion, which is pretty cool. So I did pull it back, and it does say Tory Burch on it. Now the problem with that is that it still ain't no size on it. So wait, I cannot fucking, what is going on with me? It literally says size 7M. So yeah, I will most likely peel this back to show people. I have been getting really annoyed with the amount of returns I'm getting on eBay. I do have my returns turned on as far as like the buyer paying for return, you know. I just get so annoyed because it's always just fit. I didn't like how these looked on me. Like earlier last month, I got a return on a skirt, and I recognized that she had had it for 3 weeks. So it was almost reaching that 4-week, or I guess 30-day time frame. And then she was like, oh, these didn't fit my hip. Now my whole thing is that if I get something and I try it on, it doesn't fit, I'm instantly putting in a return request. And I feel like eBay should not allow 30 days to return an item. I truly think that it should be, as soon as the item is delivered, you have 3 days to say you want to return this item, not give them a whole 30 days, because people could basically rent clothes on eBay. Like, let's keep it a buck. They can sit there, find what they want to wear, and then filter it by returns or free returns, whatever the case is, and then rent the item for shipping. That's literally it. So you are paying, you know, to get the item shipped to you, and then you're paying to get the item shipped back, but you don't really have to commit to the item. You can just go rent the clothes at this point. Because I truly feel like that skirt, because they said it didn't fit their hips. And my whole thing is that, babe, you had it for 3 weeks. What do you mean it didn't fit your hips? Like, you should have known that the day you opened it, that it didn't fit your hips. Like, the fuck? But I do think I'm gonna go ahead and end the vlog off, because I actually don't feel like doing my bins today. I'm gonna be completely honest.
pas de soleil, pas de soleil.